All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see up here, I'm recording this, so I'm going to put this on the website. What we're doing right now is we are discussing the reading, the first chapter of the realm of algebra. Okay, we're going to start with the first part. The first chapter is called the mighty question mark. Anybody, and I'm going to take volunteers first, but everybody's going to speak, want to share something they felt was important, something they didn't understand, something they had a question about, something that was interesting. I'm going to take volunteers first, but everybody's going to have to go. Yes? Okay, what was it? So we are looking at page 3, page 2, and we're looking at what's more, that part or the above? Okay. What's more, they often have to write down such arithmetical statements. Okay. So Savannah doesn't understand what arithmetical statements are. Anybody want to guess from the context what they think it is? So we have a question about arithmetical. Yes? Numbers written out. Okay. So if you were to write a number, 1,202, you guys would write 1,202, right? You wouldn't write 1,202. Okay? So writing something out as an arithmetical statement instead of writing it in numerical form. Does that make sense to you? Anybody else want to share something they didn't understand, thought was interesting, thought was the main idea? Here.
That it's telling you that you don't have to write out the number, that numbers are better. You don't have to.
Number symbols are better than words? Is that what you're saying? So you'd rather write 9 than the word 9. Anybody else? Found something interesting, found something that was the main idea. Ariel, what's one thing that you wrote down on your sheet? Okay. So when they were talking about the horse, what paragraph was that?
It's on the top of page 3.
Oh, I'm looking at 2. Okay. All right, so if I drew oh gosh, that's horrible. Do you know what that is? Because I told you that's what I was drawing. But if you guessed dog, okay, that wouldn't be so far off. It kind of looks like it. Some of you would be like, is it a person crawling on the floor with hair growing off their butt? I don't understand. Okay, so basically, we're just saying that symbols are important. Okay, so if you drew a horse, we know you're talking about a horse. But also we know the word horse. We know there's not a horse right here, right? When I use this word, it's a symbol for a horse. It's a word for a horse. So, you know, can you of writing 3 plus 4, like this, equals 7, I had to write 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And somehow I had to understand that these were being added together, and that's what it came to. You get why symbols are important? Okay. And this was just an example of why symbols were important. Anybody else find something interesting from the text? Mariah, you want to share something you wrote down?
I put the plus symbol.
He does. He does. He must really like symbols. How many of you, when you get on the internet, read everything that's there? So if you have to save, you have to see the word save. If you want to go to the internet, you have to see the word on your computer screen, internet. Or do you just click the little thing that looks like a disk to save, and you click the big E or the world-looking thing to get to the internet? Those are all symbols. Taylor.
We kept talking about like the $7 and use the symbol.
Mm-hmm.
The
That $7 instead of $7. Anybody want to share why they think he's talking so much about symbols? Because it's algebra. Algebra, we use a lot of symbols. Yasmin, is there something on yours?
I thought it was interesting how he was saying the Arabs picked them from the
Magicians.
musicians in India and passed them to the Europeans in about the 10th century, and my dad told me something about that.
Yeah. That before that, we didn't have numerical symbols, and we like wrote some. You guys have seen like Roman symbols, right? Where like this is 1, and then this would be 4, and this is 10, right? But they get really confusing. You have to know what all of those are, and it's like you put a number in front, it changes. And the whole fact that the Arabs brought it from India to teach us how to use it, I think makes life a lot easier. I mean, I think 10 is way clearer than an X, because X also means X. You know, VI means 4, but it also means VI, like Ivy. Thank you. VI is 6. You know, when it's important and when it's not. Jonathan, did you find anything interesting in there?
No.
What did you write? Anything?
Like symbols, languages for everything.
Do you think we could create a whole world of just symbols where we no longer had to write out words? I think the internet is going there. Like, I think they're getting, like, so you don't all, like, there used to be big talk about when the internet first started, back when I was in high school, a million years ago, that, oh, this was going to get kids to read more, and then they had instant messenger. Anybody know what that is? It's like texting on a computer. They were like, oh, you know, teenagers are writing way more than they used to. No, we weren't. We were writing in symbols, right? Like, we were trying, like, smiley face meant happy instead of writing happy. We weren't better writers because of it. Got anything interesting in there?
I thought it was weird how they were trying to figure out like the symbols for like 2 and 1, and then they were like, what's the symbol for what? And they came up with the question mark.
Mm-hmm. The whole idea of like unknown would be a question mark. Can you imagine if it was like a question mark plus 2 equals 4? And what if you were like a question mark? You know, what does that mean? And if this was in a sentence, would you think the question mark was actually asking you a question and then it said plus 2 equals 4? Or you know, that whole idea. I'm so cheating on names right now. Bailey.
Mine I couldn't read because it was weird.
Yeah, sorry about captioning issues.
Basically all it's doing is teaching you first grade stuff all over again.
It is, it's just going over arithmetic stuff. Tyler, you got anything?
It was the first page. It was like, third paragraph. It was doing like, it got 6 books, and I did 5 more. I had 11 books. I tell easily this is the back of my head.
Yeah. What if they said 6 books plus 4 apples? Could you add those together? No. So if we changed it to symbols, if we had 6 books plus 4 apples, we wouldn't know what that meant. Oh look, we just made an algebra equation with 2 unknown variables. Brandon, you got anything?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was kind of cool how they said it was developed and used around 1800s.
That it was developed such a long time ago?
Yeah.
Wait until we get more into here. Some of the stuff was not developed that long ago when they talk about algebra. Like, they did not have certain things until like the 1800s, which seems like not that long ago considering math seems so basic to us now. Robert, what about you?
Alright, on page 3, I was reading. It said we still call these numerical symbols the Arabic numerals and consequence. I didn't really think that word consequence fit in there, so I put a question against that.
I don't think it fits in there either. I think there's a better word for that. I agree with you. Evan?
On page 2, it said the writing can get tedious, particularly where the numbers go large, and it's true because nobody wants to write out like that.
1,347,000. Yeah. Just want to write down the numbers. Everybody know what tedious means? Boring. Like some of this probably is tedious. Simon?
I thought it was interesting when it said the three letters you are now reading are similar to various sounds and making them speak.
Yeah, that they relate directly to what we're speaking about. Star?
I never knew that numbers originally developed in English.
I think we think of numbers as like just being there forever. And it's not like, people either came to Earth by God or were developed by evolution, and we brought numbers with us. It was something that was developed over time. Say your name one more time for me. Cantrice. You got something?
Yeah, I just said it make anything easier as far as my phone number.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you had to write a phone number and you were like 63,000, or just flat out like if your phone number was 555. It would take. You want to get some cute boys digits? It would take half an hour. Like that's not fun. Sabrina. No, Alana. Did I say that right? Okay. Alana.
Everyone basically said anything I would do.
Yeah, you agreed with a lot of the things that they said. How about you, Eugene? Same. You're getting kind of redundant too. Lindsay?
I didn't really understand how we were adding like numbers to different things. I mean, I didn't know how to do that.
Right, like why are we talking about adding numbers right now if we already know how to do it? He gets more into it later on in the chapter, and definitely different chapters, about adding specific symbols in it, like X and Y, and we get some more algebra. Joe, is there anything you want to add? No. Okay. So I'm going to put this, ladies and gentlemen, up on the website. It might be something you want to look over later. It's a great conversation starter to be like, Mom, this is what I did today. And you just push play and you can walk away.